Okay, I'm going to make it this as quick as I can and whiz you around the garden to give you an update before the 10th of December. It's the 6th of December as I'm recording this, and as some of you may or may not be aware of, the government, our government in Australia, is about to impose some, how do I put this, some restrictions on social media. They're saying it's for under 16s, but it could affect everyone. Now, if it does cross the line where it is pushing digital ID, I will be going offline personally, and a lot of us probably will be. So I'm going to put in an early video so that you can have a look where I am at. Hopefully, if this is a bit of argy-bargy, that it sorts itself out and we can come back and all regroup. But otherwise, who knows where this is going to go. But I'm going to show you where the garden's at. It has been raining here in Victoria, or in my part in the east, just all the time. We've had some sun and some of the plants have responded really well. And I've got my summer plants in and going, but I've just got a break in the rain. So I'm going to whiz you around quickly, try and make this video very simple, and just give you a look-see before the 10th. So bed number 2 is going gangbusters, and we have got the zucchinis are growing now. So I've got lots of zucchinis coming on there. We've got the marigolds, and I've got some purple carrots coming up here. That's some wormwood that's got to go in the ground. These are cherry tomato varieties. So I've got a black, that's the black in the middle, a golden, and I think this is sun gold over here. And no, this is the yellow, the other one's sun gold. And I've got a dill that I've been picking here, going really well, and these are butternut squash that I've just thrown some rope on here, some string, but I actually want to put a more permanent structure up here. The bed at the back has to be done. That's bed number 2. That is just totally overgrown, and in between it we've got a fig tree and some pepinos growing wildly. The hothouse is getting cleaned out. I've got some last tomatoes to go in the ground, and we have got the prickly feral bit of the young berry trying to grow back in here that needs to be nipped in the bud. But outside here we've got lots and lots and lots of berries growing under here. Now I take this off and harvest them, and we've been getting lots of berries off. I've probably pulled about 2.5–3 kilos off already as they've started to produce, and they're hiding under there from the birds. Over here, this is where I keep my grapes, and I've got 3 grapes, 2 on the end, which are strawberry grapes, and 1 in the middle that goes all the way up there, and that is a long finger grape that I've been waiting to see. Lots of clusters on it, so I'm hoping to protect it from the birds. I haven't covered anything yet. The barrel beds that you would have seen the video, one of the Power Hour gardening challenges, I put together these. These are going well. The sweet potatoes going really well. I could probably take some slips off there and multiply those. Got a yacon at the base here. That's popcorn and nasturtiums, and I've got a second year pepper in there growing with a banana passion fruit that's competing. Here in this barrel is some lettuce and yellow, I think, is it the yellow? No, it's the red thornless raspberry. I think that cane is survived. I'm not so confident about the other 2. Don't think the others grew. Butternut squash here starting to reach, now we got a couple of days of warmth, even though it's gone cold again. So that is the other grape. Now these grapes too, try not to move too fast, even though I'm trying to move through the video fast. So I don't want you to get Motion sickness, I did graft onto these, the middle variety, because I would have preferred it, having 3 of those. But this is what's happened. It's grabbed hold of that graft and broken it. So I really don't think that's going to grow. I've left it there anyhow, but I think that's no good. I think these are pine berries growing at the base here. The wild berries got mixed in with the pine berries. I don't know if I'll see anything from it because the blue tongues tend to get to them. These have just been trimmed yesterday. Trimmed the bases of them for airflow. These are going well. We've all got lots and lots of flowers. A lot of my tomatoes have either got flowers or little fruits forming. And around here, the peas and the eggplants are going pretty good too. And this one in the middle, there are flowers forming on that. There are different varieties of eggplants in there. And in the wire bed at the back, this week's video, you'll see all the tomatoes that I put in there. They are going really well. In fact, the ones over here I'm going to have to start staking, and they've got little baby tomatoes on it. And I've got some cabbages that are probably big enough to harvest now, or I can let them grow a bit longer. The poppies are still flowering, but they are finishing. But there is flowers still. I'm going to have lots of lovely seeds of these gorgeous double frilled poppies. And this corner is starting to fill up. So I'm waiting for the colour to come into here. Got roses and hydrangea, and there is food amongst it, rhubarb and yacon, cannas, the Queensland arrowroot, canna edulis, and a 3-way plum at the back. I've got hollyhocks, sage, onions, little pansies in here, New Zealand spinach, little pansies, they're coming out for the first time, and strawberries, and gosh, miner's lettuce, oregano, violets, it's all in there. This cherry tree is struggling, growing but struggling. I cut the top of it just last week, I think, and I'm probably going to nip these ends off. I have sprayed the ends with a chemical-free white oil that I made up. It has killed the majority of the aphids on it, but the ends are looking pretty ghastly. I have picked a couple of raspberries off here, but the raspberries are babies, but they are greening up, and bed number 3 is still looking full of colour. These lobelias keep flowering, and I'm waiting for this massive amount of celery seed, so I'll collect those for pickling. It's taking up a lot of room in this bed, but I'm fine by that because I'm not up to planting into it. There's still things in there. That's a yacon I've got in there. I have decided that in here, the cassava, I don't think that's coming back. The ones that I put in the hothouse overwintered are fine, but I think that's coming back. Underneath here, we've got white onions hiding under the lobelia, but getting quite a size on them. They're in there. They're scattered through here. I've got some mushrooms even. Look, probably not edible, but good soil, people. When you see fungi in your beds, like I'm seeing here, that's good soil. My dahlias have started. If you saw an earlier video, these have not grown. So I'll be talking to the company about that one. Now again, my olive tree is not showing much hope of olives. I can see one here, one there, but that something is, I don't know, I think something's chewing them off of a night time. There's a couple on there, but not many at all. These grow bags with plants mostly to grow up a wire wall behind them. Sweet potatoes. Cucuzza is just starting to take off with the potatoes. potatoes are coming up out of the straw. This I have to get rid of. That's feverfew that's self-sown in there. There's a loofah doing absolutely nothing. It's not dying, but it's not doing anything. And another cucuzza that's starting to reach, and some peas. And over here we have the smooth skin choco that is starting to grow in the pot. Mine is lettuce that is going to seed, and we'll have some cornflowers soon. And over on the potting bench and the potting area, I've got a mass of plants that need to be either put in the ground, sold, or distributed. So banana passion fruit has become a monster and will need to be dealt with very soon. It's growing onto our roof, so as much as I appreciate the hundreds of fruit it keeps giving us, like there's still more on here, we will have to curb its enthusiasm. And down here is the asparagus bed. They're still giving us asparagus spears. I'm having to remember to quick take them before they get too tall. I've got some volunteer tomatoes in here and deliberately planted strawberries. Now up the alleyway here, things are starting to grow. Perennial leeks have popped their heads up. They haven't gone too well for me at all, but they're still there. But less than impressive, unless it's just me. And this impressive tomato with flowers here, I need to stake up because it deserves some respect, because it has been growing here since last season. If I stake it up, it's probably about 5 foot, about a metre tall. The oregano really needs harvesting. It's nearly up to my belly button. There's so much oregano. Oh, look at that. It looks like it's trying to fall out. What's happened here? Okay, well, I think it's just grown. I think it's just taken a big leap up into the sky. It's avocados grown by seed. Yukon volunteer tomatoes, again in flower, they do really well. Anemones that have appreciated a top dressing of cow manure, aged cow manure, just cheap stuff I put down there. And that patch, there is some bulbs I need to lift up. Coriander going to seed. The spinach is going to seed. I've got everything in here, parsley, and everything's kind of going to seed. It's another volunteer tomato at the back here. I've got walking onions underneath there trying to survive under the greenery. I have actually cut some of this back recently, but with all the rain it just keeps on growing. And past the worm bins, hang on. I never show you the worms, but there's so many worms in here. I'm due to clean them out, but I have got plenty of worms. They're eating everything I throw at them. So, been giving them a bit of a bath with rainwater when we had our hot days. And up here, you can hear the wattlebirds above me. Beans, I'm trying to get growing. I am having some bug issues here. So I'm trying some traps, natural traps. I've got a structure in here ready for them to grow onto, which is just an old fly screen supported by star pickets and flowers and edibles in here. So I've got the hellebores, these are bouncing back, and more yukon. Dahlias are starting to come out here. What's that? Beetles mating by the looks. Not sure if I want you in there. Probably not. They're those African ones, I think. And the choco is taking up the arch like I wanted it to. And I have been picking pepinos off here. Comfrey's in there, strawberries, violets, a walking stick kale at the very end. Beautiful violets down there. And comfrey that's due to be harvested. Makes great fertiliser. It is trying to rain again, so I'll have to be really quick. I have had the cherry and pear slug on these. Well, I shouldn't say had, past tense, but it's here. So what I've been doing is squashing them with my hands, but I really do need to dust that with potash. I've kind of kept it to a minimum by squashing every one I see, because it's not, you know, these are young trees, so it's not a lot of leaves to inspect, but I probably still will have to dust them. This bed's looking empty because a lot of things are finishing off, but I've got my Malacca tomatoes started, which are in flowers, and I think this one's got fruit. Is this one, did I see fruit on it? Yes. No, just big flowers. They have bigger flowers on here. So I need to drive some big supports in here because these are very heavy tomatoes and grow tall. So I need to do that. I'll probably take some more lower branches off too. In here is still beets, different varieties of onions, you know, echelons and different French fancy ones. I've got beans started at the back here to take over where I had peas at the back originally. And these little lettuces were not doing great because they were shaded out, and now they're taking off while the others are finishing. Over there. Now over here, this is the other tree that is being attacked. You can see these leaves are the worst. And I have actually given them a worm feed and some other things. Just squash these when I see them. Because we've had rain, it'd be a good time to throw that ash over. It'll stick to the leaves. Three-way apple. Rhubarbs have taken off. I've got a sunflower down here, or a couple of sunflowers. They're the giant mammoth ones. Those seeds are from Amy from Three Barrow Farm. She sent me those seeds, and so I'm looking forward to seeing those. And potato onions in there, chives, a few more beets, and over here another avocado that's not quite as shaded as the others. So I've made a teepee, and I'm going to grow beans and other things up that teepee. The yellow scalloped squash in here. Those broad beans, I'm collecting the seeds and letting them just pot up, and I will collect these seeds for next year. They are volunteer plants that just gave me a couple of hundred pods. Got some cannas at the back, lettuce and beetroot. Not a lot in here, so that is space that I'm actually going to add some plants. And over here I've been trying to protect from the birds digging up all the mulch, and I've got assorted peppers in here, capsicum, and in the middle we've got watermelons started, and the burpless cucumbers are starting to take off with a couple of days of sun. I've got peony roses on the corners of these, over here and here, with some primulas. Some beans in this side. The north is this way, so this will be more shaded here. This is the white cucumber growing. They won't do much until they get heat, and they get a heat and they double in size, and they get another hot day and they double in size. I'm just waiting for more hot days. And assorted beef steak and other tomatoes. This is the Tasmanian chocolate tomato, which I bought as an advanced seedling, and that is a determinate too, not an indeterminate. So that has got a lot of flowers on it. So I'm going to try and take some cuttings from that. And a mild cayenne pepper growing here with a couple of peppers on them. So we've got a couple started and flowers. I just knocked off the flower, that was smart. Chili Siam, other chilies in here. So this area here is still being developed. Snow peas I've been picking daily almost. Lots of flowers in here. So a few wild strawberries and other bits and pieces, beets and that. And a lot of bulbs finishing in here. Another giant sunflower. I've just put in some Lebanese zucchinis that were getting a little bit root bound in their little pots. And this area's got to be finished off mulch and straw and everything. I'm going to have to move inside very quickly because I can smell smoke and it's like I've had asthma. So these are 2 tamarillos that I just bought. I've got to find some spots for it. Rainbow chard, lavender. Look, so many things. More tomatoes in pots, replacing brassicas that were in the pots, along with chocolate mint, flowers, all mixed. I've been in here weeding a little bit of that and dropping the weeds. And that is my very first silverberry. That's what it was, silverberry. Blueberry, still waiting on the crimson broad beans at the back there. The nasturtium's looking really pretty. That's growing up and up and up, and every now and then I have to grab the end of it and kind of wrap it around because it's a trailing nasturtium and I want it to grow up that near the chair. Brassica's still finishing off. I've still got kale in here. Look, I've even still got there's still sprigs of little broccolettes, but they're almost done. And an orange tree. Still got sprigs of broccolette growing here because it's a bit more shaded here. Some cornflower. I would think that was a weed normally and pull that out, but that is cornflower deliberately planted. But this is an area I've got to get to weed, and I've got the bananas in here, and even they need to be thinned out. Thornless blackberry here, finally doing fruit this year. So it looks like we're going to get quite a bit on here if they plump up, don't dry out. That's what happened last year, they kind of dried out. But they're getting enough below them not to do that, so we should be right. So thanks for joining me in the tour, and I hope to see you on the other side of the 10th. I hope it's just a storm in a teacup, but just in case, I thank you for being on my channel and following the journey, and I hope to see you later on in the month. Okay, bye for now.